We're halfway through the third day of Farmers Apprentice bootcamp. Welcome to the practical challenge. In the last episode, the young farmers fitted cows and assessed sheep. This time, they're tackling welding and pigs.
I hope you're all ready for your pig task. I'm going to give you 4 random numbers out of the pigs in there. You've got to then go through, get those pigs out, weigh them, sex them, and then write any comments on the notepad that there is on the weigh scales, okay? And you're also being timed for this, so the quicker you do it, the better, really. How many pigs are in there now? There's 8 in there, and I'm going to give you 4 numbers out of there.
And they go that way.
And then they go out there, and then you weigh them, and you've got to sex them, all right? The first numbers you're going to get are 1, 3, 5, and 7, okay?
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. The timer starts when you open the gate.
Okay, 1, 3, 5.
Yeah.
Is that number 1?
Yeah.
Okay. We're doing them one at a time. Walk on. Walk on. Walk on. Make a bit of noise. Come on. Walk on. Emily, do you want to go on the gate?
5 and 7.
Come on. Walk on.
Emily, Camilla and Florence make the process seem quite easy.
That's the one. Yeah, that's all of them.
But a frisky boar adds to the challenge for Sam, Joe and Chloe.
Well done.
Come on.
You've had 3 minutes so far, guys.
Walk on.
The contestants have to carry out health checks on the animals, as well as to do more of an assessment when it comes to making sure that the animals meet the market criteria.
Her feet seem... Okay. So no scratches. Ready? Come on, turn around. Come on, turn around. Good. Come on. Go on. And you go.
Don't forget the task ends when the gate closes behind you. You've had just over 5 minutes so far.
Is he going to come out backwards, Sam, or not?
Yeah, give him a push.
Shut up.
All of you need to be in the pen.
Oh.
And stop the clock. Well done.
Both teams work well against the clock, weighing the pigs, checking their condition.
Easier than I thought it would be.
So the first lot did 6:26, so that was pretty close, but they were slightly faster.
I'm surprised by that, actually.
Yeah, I thought, because
They did deal with the ball jumping over really,
Yeah.
really well as well.
and the second team didn't close the gate there. They ended up with a pig back in the way, didn't they?
Yeah.
That was interesting. They left the entrance to the scales open.
They did. Yeah.
Silly mistake.
Yeah.
The other 2 members of each team have been taken to Bishop Burton's Technology and Skills Centre for a lesson in welding.
I'm the tutor for the welding in Bishop Burton College, and I've got a couple of challenges for you today. The virtual welder is the first task you're going to be set, and in this task it's quite easy to score because the virtual welder monitors the angle of your electrodes and the speed of travel. The actual practical side is a bit more subjective, and so we'll be taking a look at your practical side once you've based your initial sort of assessments on this side. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to demo it. You'll see it on the screen there. Can you see the wire that's sticking out on the virtual?
Yeah.
So I'm going to manipulate that that electrode at the end there to make sure it's in the correct angle. So if I squeeze the trigger, it's going to start to weld. And it's quite lifelike if you hear the spatter.
That's
So that's my weld.
That's a pretty good weld.
Yeah, you made that look
Not
really
too bad.
fancy.
Yeah. We'll get on it and it'll be like...
Well, that's what it should look like. In order to score you, what we're going to do is we're going to finish the weld. We can highlight the parameters that we're going to be looking at.
That is amazing.
So clever.
88's the score to beat.
Yeah, that's your challenge, ladies and gentlemen. So the two outside bars there, we're looking to try and stay inside those two bars. Okay.
Tom G and Dan are the first to tackle the simulator.
Drill down.
Oh yeah.
So you're not cheating. When you're welding, the electrode, the wire feed is coming out from the end of that gun. And what I was watching on there is you had a lovely angle and you had a lovely speed of travel. You had no concept of what was going on at that end of the
I
weld.
should have been over the top and looking downwards.
When I'm welding like this, my head's in the front of it like that, so I can see the wire actually touching down, because up here, all you can see is the back of the nozzle.
Yeah.
This is very odd.
Yeah, it's weird.
So when you're ready, we'll give this a go. Okay.
Do you want to go first?
And okay, I can get it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been put on the
Go
spot
on.
there, haven't you?
Yeah.
You've got slightly more experience.
Next up, Tom M and Lucy.
Oh yeah.
So just whatever's comfortable.
Yeah. Oh my days. That is awful. That was much better than mine.
Oh!
The machine weld, that was fantastic. That's beautiful.
Told you beginner's luck.
While Di tots up the scores on the simulator, it's time for the apprentices to do it for real.
So you'll turn the welders on just by the button on the front. About 13 mil sticking out. And so I'm going to use that same technique that you were practicing, so sort of one thumb or one finger on the electrode so you can control it. And I'm going to shout eyes, and that's when I'm going to start, okay? So make sure you've got your lenses down.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Eyes.
Eyes.
That was terrible. It's a terrible weld.
That's the task completed, guys. And so I'm going to start with the one closest with me. This is Lucy's, and I am going to score it on setup. As you can see,
Terrible then.
the angle is not quite 90 degrees as prescribed.
It's a bit of an understatement.
So I'm looking at the speed of travel, and it's a lovely speed of travel that you've got, considering you've not welded at all before. It's a really nice speed of travel you've got going on. And so I'm going to score that based on the fact that it's your first attempt at welding as 50%.
Woo!
Tom G. Okay, is this your first time MIG welding as well?
Well,
No.
I've had a little bit.
No.
Yeah, I've had a
Okay. that is it's really nice welding. You've got equal leg length, speed of travel's really quite nice. You've done a stop-start, and that's a real weld task that you've got to do. In the middle of a field, you're going to be doing lots of stop-starts, and it's fairly okay actually. Angle of setup is pretty good as well. So based on that, I'm going to give you a 70.
Well done.
generous.
Right,
So
so
was mine.
Let's look at Tom's. Again, really nice speed of travel on that one, Tom. The stop start not quite as good.
Yeah.
And the leg length, once you started off again, is just drifted a little bit.
Right.
But special mention for your health and safety. You were straight in with the extractors.
Yeah.
And the get-up that you set
I
up
was just
yourself.
protecting my nice overalls.
Absolutely, yeah. And that's the right way to go, because if you're welding day in, day out, those overalls will burn.
Okay.
So, so based on that, I'm going to give you 68%.
68.
Woo. Go team.
It's the best I want to make.
I need you to get a 48% down.
So, Dan, the speed of travel is nice. It's got some good fusion in there. And so I'm going to give you a 61.
Oh.
So I don't know how that's going to affect your start.
After all the action, it's now time for the judges to deliberate.
Really intense tasks for everybody to do. Everyone get involved really well.
Yeah, definitely. There were some areas where we saw better teamwork than others.
Okay.
But certainly there was some good plans and good communication that was evident in the tasks that I judged.
So we've totted up the scores on each of the tasks.
We have.
Do we have a clear winner?
We have a clear winner.
We have a clear winner.
Yeah.
The tasks are over and the apprentices find out which team has come out on top.
Apprentices, we said you'd be hands-on today, and I think it's fair to say you were. Did you enjoy it?
Yeah. I'm going to run through each of the tasks and give you a score for each task, and then we'll announce the overall winner. So if we start off with Helen on the cow task.
Okay, so on the task of fitting the cow ready for showing, Team Flo, loved the way that you took control, gave Dan some really good indication of what to do, gave him some really good direction, kept him busy, kept him safe, kept him out of the way. Your animal was a little bit more flighty and posed you with some sort of slightly different issues. She certainly had character, that's very true. At the end of the day, you got the job done and you managed to get that presented as we wanted it. The scores were out of 10, and for your team, Joe, we gave you 6 out of 10, and Team Flo, for yourself and Dan, you got 8 out of 10.
While you guys were dealing with cows, the other 3 people from each team were dealing with sheep. You did a great job. A couple of individuals I thought shone on their stockmanship. So one was Emily from this team, and one was Chloe from this team. I thought you were particularly good and calm and quiet, which is really important when you're handling stock. The overall scores we give is, for Flo's team, 7 out of 10, and for Joe's team, 8 out of 10. How did they do with the pigs overall?
Obviously you were on a time task, and actually there was 15 seconds difference between how the 2 teams had done, which makes our job increasingly difficult. But against time, we were also looking at how you handled these animals and how you worked together. Team Flo, your team, worked quietly, calmly, and communicated well, moved the animals, limited amount of stress, and did that off as a real fine job. You guys did a good job and got the job done, but there's a lot of how you work and how you are that is easily picked up by animals. And I know you did have the sort of fairly frisky boar that was coming to join your group as well, which you dealt with well. Overall in that one then, for Team 1, we gave you 8 out of 10, and Team 2 was 7 out of 10.
Well done, team.
And then we went welding, didn't we, teams? So Team Flo, your 2 welders, Dan and Tom, did really well. Joe, your welders also did really well. So Tom and Lucy. You enjoyed the simulators, that was really good fun. Then we went and did it for real life. So what I've done is taken your scores from the simulators and I've added them to your scores that Neil down in the workshop gave you for your actual piece of welding. The overall scores then, Team Flo, 262 points. Team Joe, 247 points.
Oh, that's close.
It was close. It was really good. And I think you all thoroughly enjoyed it. One of the real highlights for me was actually, Tom, you picking up on the health and safety there really well. So that was a really good message to come across. And the winner of today's task is Team Flo.
Yes. Yes.
Well done.
As a reward for their hard work, all the apprentices get a bit of downtime.
One, two, three, pull! Pull! 1, 2, 3, pull! 1, 2, 3.
Next time, we'll find out how they get on dealing with the British public at the Great Yorkshire Show.